It's being billed as the main event of the G20 Summit in Osaka, and you'd be hard-pressed to argue it isn't. A super high-stakes sit-down between U.S. President Donald Trump and his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping will happen in Japan on Saturday. It should come as a little surprise that the prolonged and increasingly bitter trade spat will be front and center of discussions as the world eagerly anticipates the results. Lee Min-sun reports.
Ahead of the scheduled summit between the U.S. and China at the G20 Summit in Japan this week, a high-ranking U.S. official has revealed the goal is to resume trade talks that have been stalled since May. According to Reuters, the U.S. thinks the Osaka meeting is a prime opportunity to get trade talks with China back on track. Chinese Foreign Ministry also said Beijing and Washington's trade negotiators have talked over the phone and the two sides are working closely under their leaders' instructions. This comes after it was confirmed Tuesday that U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping will hold their summit on Saturday. High-level trade talks in Washington in mid-May ended without agreement, and there have been no follow-up negotiations since then. Instead, Washington increased its 10% tariffs to 25% on $250 billion of Chinese goods imported to the United States. In retaliation, China imposed its own 25% tariffs on $60 billion of U.S. goods. Even if the two leaders agreed to resume trade talks, the main concern is whether the U.S. will impose additional tariffs on $325 billion worth of Chinese goods, as President Trump has repeatedly threatened to do. The U.S. official emphasized that Washington will not accept any conditions on tariffs, but said they might agree not to impose additional tariffs as a show of goodwill. Lee Min-sun, Arirang News.